Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're diving deep into Tony Robbins' Unshakeable today.
Okay.
But we're actually looking at a summary of it,
Gotcha.
which I think is even better because we can cut straight to those key insights about gaining financial freedom,
Right.
without having to wade through, all the extra stuff.
Yeah.
But don't worry.
It can be dense.
Yeah, this isn't going to be one of those
Super dry.
yeah, those dry lectures on spreadsheets and stuff like that.
No.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah. And what I think is so cool about this book, Unshakeable, is that it really takes all this complex financial wisdom, right? Like stuff from investing giants like Warren Buffett and Jack Bogle.
Yeah.
And it breaks it down into these really practical steps
Okay.
that like anyone can use.
All right, so no intimidating jargon then.
No.
That's a relief.
It's very approachable.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
So what does Robbins actually consider to be like the holy grail of financial freedom? That's a great question. It's basically passive income that covers your entire lifestyle. So, imagine having the time and resources to actually focus on the things that really matter to you.
Right.
Like, travel hobbies or starting that business you've always dreamed of.
Okay, now that's a vision board I can get behind.
Right.
But isn't that kind of just a pipe dream for most people?
Yeah.
Don't you need like a ton of money just to even get started with investing?
That's actually a big misconception that Robbins debunks right away.
Okay.
You don't need to be a millionaire to start.
Okay.
One of the most powerful things he talks about is like this idea of disciplined long-term investing.
Okay.
Even if it's with small amounts.
Right.
It's about being consistent and really harnessing the power of compounding.
All right, let's break down this whole compounding thing.
Sure.
Because I'll admit it makes my head spin a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, it's a little tricky at first, but think of it this way.
Okay.
Like, let's say you invest $1,000 and you earn like a 7% return.
Right.
The next year, you're not just earning 7% on that initial $1,000.
Right.
You're also earning it on that like $70 you earned in interest.
I see.
So it's like you're earning returns on your returns.
So it's like a snowball effect, except it's money instead of snow.
Exactly.
All right, I like it. But what about when the market drops,
Yeah.
Like those big, scary drops?
Yeah.
Makes me just want to hide all my money under the mattress.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
It's scary. But what's really interesting is how Robbins actually looks at market volatility.
Okay.
He actually says that market downturns are inevitable.
Yeah, they definitely seem to be.
Right. And he says they're not just something to fear, but they're actually opportunities.
Wait, opportunities? How so?
Well, it's kind of like a Black Friday sale for stocks.
Okay.
So when the prices drop, you actually have this chance to buy more for your money,
Yeah.
which can lead to even bigger gains when the market rebounds, which it always does.
Historically, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So the key is to just kind of ride out the storm
Oh.
and not panic sell,
Don't panic sell.
right, when things get shaky.
All right, so we just need to be like seasoned surfers.
Yes.
Riding those market waves with
Yeah.
confidence and grace.
Grace, yes.
But how do we avoid wiping out?
Well, one of the things Robbins talks about is smart asset allocation.
Oh,
This is like the financial equivalent of don't put all your eggs in one basket.
I've heard that one.
Right. So you're basically diversifying your investments across different asset classes.
Like,
So that could be stocks, bonds, real estate, and so on.
so if one part of your portfolio takes a hit, the other parts kind of cushion the blow?
Exactly. It makes your whole portfolio way more stable and resilient.
I like it. Okay, so speaking of things that can kind of eat away at your returns,
Oh.
those pesky fees.
Oh, yes.
I hate
The
those.
silent wealth killers.
Yeah, Robbins definitely talks about that.
He does.
He's not a fan. So, he's really adamant about minimizing those fees,
Yes.
and he suggests using, what are they called? Low-cost index funds?
Index funds, yeah.
Now, we've talked about index funds before on the show,
We have.
but can you just remind us
Yeah.
why Robbins is such why he thinks they're so powerful?
Yeah, so basically they give you this really broad market exposure.
Okay.
So it's like you're investing in the whole market
Okay.
instead of trying to pick individual stocks.
Right.
And because they're passively managed, the fees are usually way lower.
Gotcha. So it's kind of like
Win-win.
a win-win.
Yeah.
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 But let's be honest, even if you have like a really solid strategy,
Right.
our emotions can still sometimes, cloud our judgment,
Yeah.
like fear and greed. They can lead us to make some pretty bad decisions.
Definitely. Robbins actually talks about this a lot. Like,
Oh, does he?
he's big on psychology,
Okay.
and he really emphasizes how important it is to to stay rational and disciplined.
Yeah.
Like, stick to your plan.
Yeah.
Even when the market is going crazy.
Yeah, don't let your emotions hijack your long-term goals.
Exactly. So it's like having a game plan.
Right.
And sticking to it, no matter how tempting those risky plays might look.
Yeah, that's good advice. But even with a game plan, sometimes that fear can just be so overwhelming.
It can be.
So what does Robbins suggest for dealing with that?
Well, he talks about this really cool concept that was actually developed by Ray Dalio.
Okay.
Called the all-weather portfolio.
Okay.
And it's basically designed to perform well in any type of economic climate.
Oh, okay.
So think of it like having a financial umbrella.
All right.
That kind of protects you whether it's rain or shine.
Okay, that definitely has my attention.
Yeah.
Tell me more about this all-weather approach.
Well, that's a great segue to the next part of our deep dive.
Okay.
We'll get into all the specifics of the strategy.
Awesome.
And really explore how it can help you build this like truly unshakable financial future, no matter what the market throws at you.
Sounds good to me. Stay tuned, listeners. We're going to unlock the secrets to weathering any financial storm.
We will. All right, so let's dive a little deeper into this all-weather portfolio.
Okay.
So this is the one that Ray Dalio came up with.
Right, right.
And it's supposed to, it's designed to be this strategy that can really stand strong no matter what's happening in the economy.
It sounds amazing. Like almost too good to be true.
Right.
Like a financial cheat code or something.
It's not about cheating the system.
Right.
It's more about like really understanding how all these different asset classes behave.
Okay.
Like in different economic situations.
I see.
Think of it like you wouldn't wear the same clothes for a blizzard as you would for a heat wave.
That's true. I much prefer to bundle up in a parka during a blizzard than, wear a swimsuit.
Exactly.
Obviously.
So all-weather portfolio basically takes that same logic.
Okay.
And it applies it to your investments.
Yeah.
So it's about going beyond just those typical stocks and bonds.
Right.
And including things like gold commodities and even like foreign currencies.
Wow, so it's about having the right financial gear for any type of weather.
Exactly. Like, for example, gold usually performs well during times when inflation is really high.
Oh, okay.
And then bonds, they tend to hold up better when the stock market's taking a hit.
Yeah, I've heard that.
So if you balance all these different assets strategically, what you get is a portfolio that's not as volatile.
Right.
And it's more likely to just kind of, weather those economic storms.
So it's not just about growth then, it's also about stability and protection.
Exactly. It's like the goal is to kind of try to minimize losses during those downturns, but then still capture the gains during those growth periods.
Okay, so it's like balancing risk and reward.
Exactly.
This sounds really sophisticated, though. Is this something that like the average person could actually do?
It does require, some deeper knowledge
about
how different asset classes work and how they interact.
Right.
So it can seem a bit intimidating at first.
Right.
But Robbins, he's really clear that you don't need like a PhD in finance or anything.
Okay, that's good.
The main thing is just to do your research.
Okay.
And if you need help, you can always talk to like a financial advisor.
Right. That makes sense.
And then you want to make sure you're tailoring the strategy to your own specific needs.
Right.
And risk tolerance.
Okay, so it's a bit more complex than just picking a few index funds.
It is.
But with, the right help
Yeah.
and resources, it's something that's achievable.
For sure. And even if you don't go all in on the whole all-weather portfolio,
Yeah.
just understanding these underlying principles,
Right.
like diversification,
Okay.
and understanding how different assets react in different situations,
Right.
that's really valuable for any investor.
It's like having a financial toolbox
Yes.
with all the right tools.
Exactly.
You might not use all the tools every day,
Exactly.
but it's good to have them.
Right. So it's like it gives you that power to make smart choices and build that portfolio that really aligns with your goals.
Right, right. Speaking of goals, one of the things I really appreciate about Robbins' approach is that he doesn't just focus on like the money aspect.
Yeah.
Like he really talks about how important it is to align your financial goals with your overall life goals.
He does.
You know.
That's one of the cool things about the book.
Yeah, he challenges us to think bigger.
He does.
Than just like accumulating wealth.
Yeah.
And really ask ourselves like, what does a truly rich life look like?
Yes.
You know? Is it about having a big mansion and fancy cars?
Right.
Or is it about, being able to travel,
right.
pursue your passions,
Yeah.
spend time with your loved ones, that kind of thing?
Exactly. And for me personally, it's definitely more about those experiences and relationships.
Me too.
Yeah,
More than the material stuff.
absolutely. And Robbins really encourages readers um, to kind of sit down and define what wealth means to them,
Okay.
like personally,
Yeah.
and then use their money as a tool to actually create that life.
So it's about using your money to build a life that's really meaningful and fulfilling?
Exactly.
Okay, I like that. But how do we actually do that?
Yeah.
Like, how do we bridge that gap between those financial goals and our life goals?
It's a great question.
Yeah.
And Robbins actually provides some really actionable advice for this.
Okay. Good.
He really stresses the importance of not just, dreaming about your ideal life,
Right.
but taking concrete steps to make it happen.
Okay.
So that might mean, setting some really specific financial goals,
Okay.
maybe creating a budget
Right.
that aligns with your values,
Okay.
and then maybe looking for opportunities to either, boost your income
Yeah.
or cut down on your spending.
Right. Finding ways to kind of free up some resources.
Exactly. It's about taking control.
Right. Yeah.
And using your finances to create that life that you really want.
So it's almost like creating this financial roadmap
Yes.
that's going to lead you to your dream destination.
I love that analogy.
But let's be realistic, sometimes life just throws those curveballs our way,
Oh, for sure.
those unexpected expenses.
Yeah,
The market takes a dip,
right.
things we just can't always predict.
Totally. So how do we actually stay on track when all that stuff happens?
Yeah, how do we navigate those roadblocks?
That's where this unshakable mindset really comes in.
Okay.
It's about developing this mental and emotional resilience
Right.
that kind of helps you deal with those challenges without, losing sight of what you're really aiming for.
So it's not enough to just have like a good financial plan in place.
Right.
You also need to have that mental toughness
Yes.
to actually stick with it when things get rough.
Exactly. And Robbins gives some practical tips for how to do that,
Okay, like what?
like surrounding yourself with people who support you,
Okay.
practicing gratitude,
Okay.
and really focusing on solutions
Right.
instead of dwelling on the problems.
So it's like building this financial fortress from the inside out.
Exactly.
You need a solid plan,
Yes.
but you also need that inner strength
Yeah.
to be able to withstand those storms.
Yes. And Robbins actually points out that this mindset,
Yeah.
it's not just good for your money.
Right.
It can actually help you in all areas of your life.
That makes sense. Okay, so I know we've been talking about some pretty complex stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't want our listeners to feel overwhelmed.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So what are some key things that they can take away from this?
Okay.
Like things they can start doing right away to build that unshakable foundation?
That's a great question. All right. So first things first,
Okay.
start investing early and do it consistently.
Okay.
Time is your best friend when it comes to compounding.
So even if it's a small amount,
Yes, exactly.
let's make it a habit.
Yeah. Automate it if you can.
Automate it. Good idea. Okay, what else?
Diversify your investments. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
We've heard that one.
It's a classic for a reason.
It's true. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Remember those fees we talked about?
Yes.
Try to minimize them.
Okay.
Choose those low-cost index funds whenever you can.
Index funds. Okay. And I think the last one's really important, right?
It is.
This whole idea of cultivating the unshakable mindset.
Yes.
Believe that you can achieve financial freedom.
Yes.
And don't let those market ups and downs throw you off course.
Exactly. You got to stay focused on the long game.
Long game, exactly. Yeah. So it's really about taking control.
It is.
Of your financial future and creating a life that's full of abundance and freedom.
That's the goal.
It is. Now, we're not quite finished yet, are we?
We're not.
There's still more to uncover in Unshakeable, right?
There is. In the final part of our deep dive, we're going to get into some of the wisdom that Robbins learned from those interviews.
Okay.
With the investing legends like Warren Buffett, Jack Bogle.
Yeah.
So they offer some really invaluable insights.
Okay.
On long-term thinking.
Yeah.
Mastering your emotions.
All right.
And just navigating those the ever-changing financial waters.
Okay, I can't wait to hear it. Stay tuned, listeners, because the best is yet to come.
It is.
Welcome back, everyone. So we're in the final stretch of our Unshakable deep dive.
We are.
And now we get to hear from, the real heavy hitters,
Yeah.
the investing legends.
This is where it gets really good.
Yeah. So Robbins shares all this great stuff from his conversations with people like Warren Buffett and Jack Bogle.
Amazing insights.
Yeah. And these are people who haven't just achieved incredible success, but they've also,
You've been through it all.
they've seen it all.
Yeah.
They've weathered all those market storms, and
So
they've
good.
always come out stronger. So, I don't know. It's kind of like getting a peek into the playbook
Yes.
of those Wall Street champions.
Exactly.
So what kind of wisdom did they share?
Well, one of the biggest things that stood out to me
Yeah.
was their emphasis on long-term thinking.
Okay.
Like, they're really adamant that
Yeah.
trying to time the market is a losing game.
Okay. So no more trying to outsmart the market.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right.
Like Warren Buffett,
Yeah.
he has this great analogy.
Okay.
He compares the stock market to a device
Okay.
for transferring money from the impatient to the patient.
That's good. I like that. So it's more about like
Yeah.
harnessing that power of time and letting those investments just grow steadily.
Exactly. And these guys have seen it all.
Yeah.
They really advocate for just being disciplined,
Yeah.
sticking to your plan,
Right. Write it out.
buy and hold.
The buy and hold.
Yeah. They understand that the market's going to go up and down.
It always does.
Yeah.
It's inevitable, but they don't let those short-term blips derail them.
Exactly.
So I'm sensing a theme here.
Yeah.
Patience and discipline.
Those are the key ingredients.
Those are the keys.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And what about Jack Bogle?
Oh, Jack Bogle. He's the index fund pioneer.
Right.
And he actually reinforces this idea of just staying the course.
Right.
He says that trying to beat the market
Yeah.
is it's just a losing battle.
Okay, so instead of trying to pick those individual stocks,
Yeah.
the winners,
Right.
we should be focusing on capturing that overall market growth
Exactly. Through those index funds.
through index funds. Okay, it's kind of like
Yeah.
drafting behind a really powerful wave.
Yes. Right.
Instead of trying to fight against the current.
It's so much easier.
Makes sense. It makes sense. But even with the right strategy,
Right.
sometimes those emotions, they get the better of us.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So how do these financial titans, how do they manage to stay so calm,
Yeah.
amidst all that market chaos?
Well, one of the things Robbins points out is that they've really mastered their emotions.
Okay.
Like they don't let fear or greed
Right.
control their decisions.
Okay.
They have a plan and they stick to it.
They stick to it no matter what.
No matter what.
It sounds like emotional intelligence is just as important as financial intelligence.
Absolutely. And, they also emphasize that learning never stops.
Oh, that's true.
The financial world is always changing.
Right.
So you got to stay curious,
Yeah.
be adaptable.
Right. Always be learning.
Yes, always be learning.
Okay, so as we wrap up our deep dive into Unshakeable,
Yes.
what are some of the most powerful takeaways?
All right. Well, first of all, remember that financial freedom is possible
It is possible.
for anyone.
Okay.
It's not about luck or being born rich.
Right.
It's about making smart choices
Okay.
consistently and sticking to your goals.
Okay, so start early.
Yes.
Take advantage of that compounding,
Is
even if it's just a little bit at a time.
it adds up.
It adds up, okay? Don't forget about diversification.
Yes. Spread that risk.
Spread the risk, okay?
Don't forget about those fees.
Minimize those fees.
Yes. Low-cost index funds.
Index funds, okay? And I think this is probably the most important one.
Yeah.
Cultivate that unshakable mindset.
Yes.
Believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Believe that you can achieve financial success.
You can.
And don't let the market get you down.
Stay focused.
Stay focused on those long-term goals.
Exactly.
And remember, true wealth isn't just about, having a lot of money.
No.
It's also about
Yeah.
having a sense of purpose,
Absolutely.
having strong relationships,
Yeah.
and just living a life that's meaningful.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's about having those rich experiences,
Rich experiences, that's
not just a fat bank account.
exactly. Well said. So there you have it, folks. The essential ingredients for building an unshakable future.
That's it.
We hope this deep dive has given you the tools and the inspiration to really take control of your finances
That's what we want.
and create that life of abundance and freedom.
Yes. And remember, this is just the beginning.
Right.
The real journey starts now
It does.
when you take all this knowledge
Right.
and start applying it.
Okay, so take action.
Take action.
And don't forget to share this episode with, anyone who might find it helpful.
Yes, spread the word.
Spread the word about financial empowerment. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for listening.
And we'll catch you in our next deep dive.
See you then.